It's rolling. You see the little red thing.
Hi, I'm Amy Lee, and this is the legendary Steve Lillywhite.
We say legendary rather than veteran. They're the same, but legendary is better. I am a veteran as well.
We're here on East Village Radio, having a great time.
EastVillageRadio.com in the tiny little booth here, and yes.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Marvellous.
Steve Lillywhite here on East Village Radio, and I am joined by... Shall we turn the microphone up for Amy? Do we have that? Is Amy... You're Amy Lee!
Hey!
Welcome
How's it going?
to the Lillywhite Sessions.
Thanks for having me.
Here we are, yes. Who would have thought?
Everybody.
Everybody would have thought. They're all listening. All those 10 people now. We've doubled our listenership, so that's wonderful. And I'm just going to play one more song, and then we'll get down to chat.
Sweet.
Okay, this is the wonderful Damien Rice and The Blower's Daughter.
So it is just like you said it would be. Life goes easy on me most of the time. And so it is.
Now, this is Steve Lillywhite with Amy Lee. And Amy, so I hear that you're in town. You're living in New York now?
Yes, that's right.
Or more like Brooklyn?
Well, whichever.
Well, one of the two.
Yeah.
And you're here making a new album?
Yes, with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
In fact, I think we're headed there right after
Exactly. That's why Amy came here toward the end of the show, because we're both going to jump in a taxi afterwards and head off to the studio where we're going to be starting to do some singing.
Yeah, tonight.
And tonight, which I'm so excited. Although I have to say, even her rough vocals are sounding extremely good.
I'm ready to get rid of those rough vocal tracks. Yeah,
right.
I'm ready to make it rule.
Make it rule. Well, I think so far so good. I mean, people say to me, what does it sound like? I mean, do you have any ideas of how would you describe this record so far?
It's really hard because I just feel like it's so many things at once, but I have always felt that way. Like every time we record, but I do feel like this record is definitely different, even more so than before, but in a really cool, good, true way. You know, I think that there's more influences from all over the place, and honestly, I've in the creative process just had a lot more fun, I think, I had a lot of fun last time. Actually, making The Open Door was a great experience, but I don't know, this is all the choices that you make when you're writing. I feel like they were always about just what felt good and was really fun without thinking about any kind of consequences.
Right, you have a great new guy you're working with, like Will.
Yes, Will, yes.
His name is Will Hunt, although there is another Will Hunt.
That's right, there's two Will Hunts in the band now, so we have to always distinguish the difference, and much to Will's probably, I don't know, he probably hates it, yeah. But we call him Science as a joke because he does so many of these cool beats, and sounds.
I must admit, he's a young guy from Texas, and his time will come. He is a very talented.
I believe it. This may be that time.
Yeah, this will be his time.
Yeah.
And I must admit, I'm very excited by working with him and all of you. So, Amy has chosen a wonderful track off the new Depeche Mode album to play.
Yes.
And we'll play that and then talk about that afterwards. It's the opening song called
In Chains.
Amy Lee,
Hey.
and we are opposite the funeral home. Did you know, Amy, that in England we don't bury our dead,
Really?
we just burn them.
Oh.
Because we don't have any room
You don't have the
left.
space.
We don't
yeah.
have the space. So,
Well, New York feels that way.
New York,
for sure.
yes, if anyone dies in New York, they'll probably burn you as well.
Oh.
But there's nothing wrong with that. We all die at the end, as you
You're
burn.
turning dark. Is that me rubbing off?
No. So, so Amy, someone has been instant messaging us about lyrics.
Yeah. What's the
Inspiration,
question say?
maybe, or
I missed the question.
Well,
They're
what was
just
the
asking
question
about
about the
inspiration. Where do they come from? I guess.
yeah.
Just from my life. Honestly, I'm always writing about what I'm feeling, and a lot of times the things that I feel like I can't say, like
Right.
to people around me or even to myself. So it's an interesting thing. Sometimes I'll listen back to lyrics like a couple months later after recording them and writing them, and then
Right.
go, oh, like I know what I was talking about. Like my subconscious was trying to tell me something. It's really
Right.
cool. It's just very therapeutic for me. I definitely just write what makes me feel better, and then sometimes the sense comes a little bit later.
Right. Yep. And I've always said to new artists I've worked with, actually, I said, journalists will always try and trick you when they'll always say, "What's that song about?"
Right.
You never need to explain your lyrics because you always
Look at
just
your-
say to them, "What do you think?"
Yeah, well,
You
it's
know.
art, there's so many ways
Yeah,
that you can interpret it, and I think it's cool. I get all kinds of people saying that different songs mean different things to
Different
them.
things to different people.
I love
That's
that.
the thing,
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when an artist is so specific about the meaning of a song, I just, a quick story, I remember with U2, there was a song off Atomic Bomb album, which Bono said was about his dad, called Sometimes You Can't Make It On Your Own. And I always thought that he should never have been so specific about this being about his father, because in fact, the song could really mean a lot more to people if they didn't think of Bono talking about his dad.
Right.
If it could just be about,
But about whatever, like
about
something
whatever
anyone
you
could
think.
apply.
Yeah. So, anyway, that was that. We're now going to play a little bit more music, which is a band that I had something to do with that we all love. It's a band called MGMT,
Who I've been listening to a lot lately, and I remember we were talking about that when
Right.
we were talking about you producing the record, and I mentioned that I like them a lot, and you're like, oh, well, I'm partially responsible for them.
I had a corporate job. I was an A&R man at Columbia Records, and this band came in, and one girl who was working for me said, Steve, we really want to sign. Can you talk to this band and give them the schmooze? And I listened to the music, and I said, yeah, we need to sign this band. So, I brought them in and had a long chat, and actually I bumped into them the other day at a Fish concert, funnily enough.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, they're a great band, and their new album comes out, but this is Electric Feel from their first album.
One of my favorites.